The Weeby, a plane that made it into the Guinness Book of World Records for its size. Melanie Griffith and her pet lion, 1970s. John Scully Center, Steve Jobs left, and Steve Wozniak right with the Apple IIc, 1984. Iranian troops watch as oil fields set ablaze by Iraqi forces during the Persian Gulf War in 1990. Skiing with rifles, Norway, 1910s. An American officer serving with the South Vietnam Forces poses with group of Montagnards in front of one of their provisional huts in a military camp in central Vietnam on November 17, 1962. Directors of the Union Pacific Railroad on the 100th meridian, approximately 250 miles west of Omaha. Bass Reeves, a former enslaved person, became the first black deputy marshal in the late 1800s, operating in what is now Oklahoma and Arkansas. Queen, 1970. Andy Warhol, 1981. Spanish Civil War. Citizens of the Spanish Republic, ready to defend Barcelona from General Franco's fascist troops, undergo marksmanship training on June 2, 1937. Actress Selma Hayek, not famous yet, but working as simple edecon for Revlon, late 1980s. Matador School, Spain, 1936. Teenage boys use a blanket to toss their friend, Norma Baker, in the air at Hermosa Beach, California, 1948. Philip Garner's roller skates, 1962. German Ulan, circa 1914. Woman in a beauty salon, 1920s. Hitler saluting the body of Reich Security Director Reinhard Heydrich at his funeral, 1942. Chevy Chase and Sidney Catalin Chase. Couple dancing Lindy Hop in the 1940s. Two women from French Indochina discuss the day's news, April 30, 1917. A Faust patron mounted on a donkey, 1940s. Winona Ryder on the set of Beetlejuice, 1987. Girls play with a clown at a Texas State Fair, 1968. Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, and Lisa Kudrow in a promo image for Friends, 1995. In 1998, the VAZ-2121 Niva accomplished a feat that would forever be etched into automotive history. This legendary SUV climbed Mount Everest under its own power, reaching a camp located at an altitude of 5,200 meters above sea level. Winston Churchill, a skilled mason among other things, builds a cottage for his daughters on his Chartwell estate in Kent, 1928. Three Beautiful Moroccan Women, 1971. In 1961, a barbed wire fence was laid out on the orders of the East German government to separate East Berlin from West Berlin prior to constructing the Berlin Wall. Two mothers and their children, now kept apart. 1983. Boston bartenders pour vodka in protest of the Soviet Union's downing of a Korean airliner. Halloween, 1910s. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, was a monumental engineering achievement that connected San Francisco Bay with Bluffs, Iowa, spanning 1,911 miles. Hitler tells Mussolini how the Bialystok cauldron was formed and liquidated. French soldiers with a papier-mâché cow used as cover for observers and snipers. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt smashes a bottle of champagne on the bow of a ship. The ocean liner SS America was launched on August 31, 1939. Young woman working out in a plastic sweatsuit in the 1950s. Grocery shopping in the 1890s. Norma Jean Mortensen, also known as Marilyn Monroe, posing in the 1940s. Tallest and shortest man in the New Zealand Rough Riders Regiment standing in front of a tent during the Second Boer War, photographed by an unidentified photographer in circa 1900. A policeman stands next to a member of the Black Legion, 1936. Winter fishing on the Ural River, 1893. Kirk Douglas braids Brigitte Bardot's hair at the Cannes Film Festival in 1953. Segregated seating at the Orange Bowl, January of 1956. Kodachrome slide. French shepherds and stilts around 1900. (1971). The Orange Order marched through Belfast, watched over by British soldiers behind a barbed wire barricade. Marilyn Monroe in the March of Dimes to support vaccines to prevent polio in children, 1958. Marilyn Monroe takes a break from filming in the 1950s on a Los Angeles beach. The owners of one restaurant staged a public bacon skating event by heating up a giant frying pan and tying 2 pieces of bacon to a woman's legs so she could skate across the hot surface of the pan like an ice rink. The Great Depression. Elvis Presley with a stack of records featuring his first big hit, That's All Right, released when he was 19 years old, photo taken 1955. Demonstration of aircraft protection against lightning strikes, 1950. A photograph titled Fred with Tires taken by American photographer Herb Ritz in 1984. President Kennedy starts a wind-up for the pitch to open the American League baseball season on April 8, 1962, in Washington. Favorite Beatle, Gaumont Cinema, Doncaster, December 10, 1963. Ronald Reagan and Virginia Mayo perform in She's Working Her Way Through College, 1952. Beanie Babies. These tiny stuffed animals became a global craze, 1990s. Soldiers Playing Netball, 1918. Flying low over the jungle, an A-1 Sky Raider drops 500-pound bombs on a Viet Cong position below as smoke rises from a previous pass at the target on December 26, 1964. Lieutenant Commander Donald D. Shepard of Coronado, California, aims a flaming arrow at a bamboo hut concealing a fortified Viet Cong bunker on the banks of the Bassac River, Vietnam, on December 8, 1967. The Windmill Theatre Girls, Frolicking on the Tower Beach, London, 1947. American M3 submachine gun with a curved muzzle for shooting around corners, 1953. Two generations of Chinese girls, the 1980s and today. One of the cheapest places to stay in New York City in the early 20th century, known as 7-cent bunks in a homeless shelter on Pell Street in New York, known as Happy Jack's Canva. Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder hangs from the rafters during a 1992 concert. An experiment in teaching students under hypnosis. Students were put into a trance and listened to a recording of a lesson through headphones. Italy, 1963. Chris Farley was a camp counselor in 1986. A vintage photo of two dogs wearing hats. The attire of a 19th century Albanian warrior. A crowd looks on as the Bremen, a German Junkers W-33 aircraft and the first plane to fly west across the Atlantic, is placed on display in Grand Central Terminal, New York City, on May 21, 1929. Marilyn Monroe, on a date with fellow co-star Tommy Redding of the film River of No Return, here at the premiere of the film The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, 11 of October 1953. John Kennedy with his daughter Caroline, 1958. Angela Merkel in the mid-1990s after leaving science for politics. (1972). The remains of the 13 people who died on Bloody Sunday. A 14th victim died months later from his injuries. The aftermath of the 1981 Louisville sewer explosion. Showing off a bottle of expensive wine in the trenches, World War I. A locomotive and two coaches of the Atlantic and Railroad exhibit near Baltimore, Maryland, November 1927. On the set of the film Mortal Kombat in 1995, a nurse with a sick child during a smallpox epidemic. Wrocław, Poland, 1963. Shavarsh Vladimirovich Karapetyan was a Soviet swimmer who single-handedly rescued 20 people from a sinking trolley bus that fell off a bridge in 1976. Identity card of Maria Miezi Bihari, 5-year-old Romani girl who was deported by Nazis in 1940. Wall of shame photos and names of girls who cheated on their boyfriends during their service. Soviet Union Navy, 1980s. An old photograph taken in 1883 CE showing high-class Yomit women from Krasnovodsk in Turkmenistan, wearing a distinctive headgear called kasaba. A naked FBI agent hands over $1 million to the hijackers of a Delta Airlines flight in Miami, Florida, 1972. Best friends since the Great Patriotic War. The Black Jewish Community of Harlem, 1940s. In the Ethiopian Army of 1880, soldiers did not wear shoes. Frida Kahlo and Chavela Vargas, 1950. Mushroom cloud hairstyle, 1951. Charles Manson's driver's license. American troops in Venice, Italy, 1945. Hamburger stand in Harlingen, Texas. Burgers 5 cents, chili 10 cents, breakfast 25 cents, with real 7-Up, 1939. Buddhist priests at Asakusa Temple during a civil defense exercise to prepare for possible Chinese air attacks on Tokyo, Japan, May 30, 1936. Skeleton of Lucy, the Australopithecus afarensis, besides an average 4-year-old girl, circa 1974. The Ohio National Guard moves in on rioting students at Kent State University in Kent, Ohio, on May 4, 1970. Mouthpiece for Two. Arthur Luce, who had neurofibromatosis, which causes extreme skin abnormalities. He was 42 when he performed at Ripley's Auditorium in Chicago in 1933. He died in 1991, aged 97. Metallica, 1983. Rosalind Baxendale and other costumed members of the feminist activist group Witch, Women's International Terrorist Conspiracy from Hell, performing a Halloween hex on the steps of Federal Hall in New York City, 1968. Actress Alexandra Bastedo was a British sex symbol in the 1970s. King George V's 10-day royal hunting expedition in Nepal. Numerous tigers, rhinoceros, bears, leopards, deer, boar, porcupines, and birds were killed with a massive 12,000 crew in 1911. A woman with a Viewtone television featuring a 7-inch screen at a New York City department store in 1945. This set, retailing for $100, was considered the first moderately priced receiver produced in quantity at the time. Cigarette Butt Collector, Paris, 1905. Dr. Dre and Eminem, 1990s. A girl sticks out her tongue at a ceremony in Dublin, Ireland, 1960s. Ernest and Mary Hemingway in a Land Rover on safari in Kenya, 1953. Pakistan Airlines advertisement, 1979. Halloween shoot in the 1950s. The DNC celebrates the nomination of Bill Clinton in Chicago, 1996. New York City Fire Department ambulance, 1949. The Bull Gamma 3 vacuum tube computer from 1952 had 400 tubes and was considered quite compact at the time. Marcello Mastroianni, Federico Fellini, and Anita Ekberg, 1969. Private Eugene V. Weber, handing a little girl a stick of chewing gum in the town of Asselborn, Luxembourg, 1944. King Michael I of Romania, 1942. The Chinese celebrate the successful testing of their first atomic bomb, 1964. Rapper Tupac Shakur, after being shot 5 times. New York City, November 30, 1994. Keeping your beer in the bumper, 1970s. Young Angelina Jolie in 11th grade. Ernest Frederick Ernie Morrison was the first black child movie star, 1920s. Actor Christopher Walken in the 70s. Patrons at the El Dorado, a popular LGBTQ cabaret in Berlin during the Weimar years, 1929. A young chimney sweep, United States, early 20th century. Goalkeeper Sam Bartram stands alone on the pitch, unaware that the match had been called off 15 minutes earlier because of dense fog. December 25, 1937.